Alright, everybody. This is Pride here, and I'm here to talk a very important subject that I think more people need to talk about and be known about. And since it's this type of season, I thought we'd all talk about the possibilities of the zombie apocalypse. That's right, everybody. Zombie apocalypse. Is it possible? Yes or no? Now, here are some actual facts. Zombie attacks have actually happened. But the question is, why hasn't it started up into a major rampage? Mainly because it was stopped before it could, and was it something else maybe? Well, let us take a look at the different types of possibilities for zombie apocalypses. So far, from my research, I've discovered there are five different types of zombies, which can cause a major problem. First, I'm going to start with the two unlikeliest zombie apocalypse that will affect humanity to this day. And I want you guys' opinion on this and see what you think on this, okay?
Okay.
The primary one, I think is the weakest and probably not going to cause a major zombie apocalypse, will be the voodoo zombies. These are people that have been poisoned using pufferfish toxin, which pretty much destroys their mental capabilities and turning them into pretty much a living zombie, but more of a slave than anything else. And to me, I don't think any type of apocalypse can be caused from that, unless voodoo magic does exist, which can turn into a mass horde of people into a zombie apocalypse, which so far I find very unlikely. Now, anyone else has other opinions on that?
Well, see, you're right in that what they do for voodoo isn't really going to cause a zombie apocalypse. However, there is a variant on that which would be a severe problem, and that is generalized mind control. And it is true that even the U.S. government, as much as they say the U.S. government is all about freedom, but they have conducted several experiments into mind control. They say this isn't, and it's not just intended for soldiers to make soldiers better. They fully intend to spread that to the population, to have absolute control over the population, essentially turning everybody in the country into obedient zombies. And that's one example is that the people who zealously follow not just Hillary Clinton but Donald Trump too. These people are freaking weird, but this is chemically induced, and this is something that every government in the world has dreamed of and experimented on multiple occasions. Absolute mind control. Yeah, but because they don't really understand how the human brain works, mind control just doesn't work. It always turns on you.
No, it does work, but to a certain extent. To
a point, but it always winds up turning on you.
Well, let's go on to the next type of zombie. This is also another one I don't believe I think it can cause a major disaster, but easy solution to stop the contaminant from spreading. And that is the plant version zombie. This is where a fungal growth happens into the human host. And the human host will then become, will pretty much try to go to its highest place it can and just sit there and plant itself. So more of its spores will be spread out to contaminate other people. And then vice versa. Now, in the major populated areas, I believe this will cause a lot of damage. But they're not going to be attacking people. It'll be more like trying to just go to a safer place and just hunker down.
You're thinking of the situation from that game, The Last of Us, where cordyceps cross-species infection from ants into humans, turning humans into mutated monsters.
Well, I am.
Unlikely, like you said.
Mainly because the difference between the ant one, because it does exist for ants already in nature,
and other arthropods, spiders. Other insects.
But there's a big difference between them and humans. We have a much higher brain capacity, which I believe our minds can actually overcome the spore type situations.
It might give some people.
Well, especially people who watch Kardashians. That's another story.
Yeah, that's.
There are already a bunch of vegetables as it is, but that's another.
That actually leaves the spore with nothing to feed on at all, so it will starve to death.
Like Philip J. Fry and those parasite slugs.
The brain slugs, yeah. Poor little guys starved to death.
Yeah. Anywho, first off, if you guys are wondering, I'm reading this book, The Forensics of the Living Dead, Zombie CSU by Jonathan McMaberry. Pretty much, before we go further, I recommend this book because This guy did a lot of research, both fictional and scientific, about the process of zombie apocalypse and how standard-wise, besides the human stupid factor, it could be stopped in its tracks easily.
True, it can be stopped in its tracks easily, but it depends on how many are infected at the same time, depending on what the virus is or contaminant.
Yeah, and how quickly it can spread.
Because you're going by this and saying it'll take several hours for it to happen. Now, a lot of the zombie attacks that I have shown, people have turned instantly in 5 minutes.
Let's just put
Less.
quotation marks on the zombie attacks for legal reasons.
Okay, quotation marks, okay. But first, let's go off to the 3 primary zombie infections that can actually cause mass destruction. Now, these 3 can cause the most damage. Now, the ones I believe that are probably the most contaminated one that'll start off really big has to be, I guess it'll be like a parasitic amoeba that are inside the person's brain. This all actually affects rats, originally.
That's Pados.
Will you please stop that?
I'm having a little comic in the back. I'm not into cooking him.
You look more like you're thinking about raping somebody. And
pretty much
it's probably
that's just
him.
the way his person
Anywho,
is.
let's continue.
I forgot what the type of contamination it is. I need to research that again.
It is an amoeba.
It's an amoeba.
Yeah, and there are currently amoebas like that, but they are the ones that affect rats. But the ones that affect humans are actually they don't cause zombieism, but they're actually more deadly because they actually eat your brain, and there is no cure.
And that's not what we're talking about,
Yeah.
though.
They're in snails, and if you eat snails raw,
That's not an amoeba. It's a parasite, but that's an insect.
Oh.
Anyway, let's go at pretty much the rat one. This rat amoeba is pretty much turns rats into a zombie and makes them get devoured by cats. Now, this one's a big, serious problem because if it does mutate, it can affect the human population.
Cross-species.
And the way for it to be it's already cross-species. Because this is the thing with this. 50% of the world's population is already infected. That means if this mutation does happen, it'll happen together. That means 50% of the population will automatically attack the other 50%. And if it's right away, you don't have a warning of it.
What you're describing is a worst case scenario, but it won't happen across the entire amoeba population simultaneously. It will most likely happen with a patient 0, or those who are in the environment that causes the mutation.
Yeah.
To the amoeba, like say it's like a radiation spike or something, or even an electrical storm that causes them, or even something the person has eaten.
But even then, it's still going to hit a whole population because remember, 50% of the people are already contaminated before this. Okay?
Yes.
Now, if you hit a big wide area, and all of a sudden, even then, when it goes into spurts, even if it goes into spurts, if someone gets contaminated, they're like, oh, we'll just seal it up real quick. The problem is it's 50% of the population already contaminated.
Yes, but the thing
But
is...
that means once the mutation starts, it will continue on. Evolution always continues on. And what the evolution will do, it will still try to find a way to produce. The way it's going to do that, I believe, is through blood-to-blood contact. That means their mouths, I think they're going to do is start damaging their own mouths. And when they bite you, their blood will go into your system to infect your system.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, that would be bad, but that is a dramatic behavioral mutation from simply getting the host killed to infect the intended host, which is the cat, and then reproducing and the eggs going out in the feces. That's actually how these amoeba reproduce. What you're suggesting is a dramatic difference in behavior.
Not really.
It is very dramatic. It is very different.
No,
it takes a lot to cause something like that to have such. You're thinking of not only does it mutate so that it begins to affect humans.
His eyes is going. You roll his eyes back.
So what?
But it also mutates again to change its preferred infection method.
That's actually very easy to do. It happens all the time in nature like that, though.
Not with a microbe.
Yes, it does. Microbes change the fastest.
Like this.
Yeah, they do.
Not to that. I mean, because this is a microbe that tremendously affects another species.
Yeah.
I mean, most microbes, when they change, they gain immunity and change infection rates.
Name an instance where it has happened.
Something to that dramatic.
Bovine disease. It has happened. It switched chicken
Oh
chicken
yeah,
pox.
yes. That's not what I
Okay,
mean.
the switching species
That's-
is easy, but you're asking
No,
for
it's
going from the
switching. This
poop
is,
infestation to a mouth infestation.
the thing is, though, that's actually not that hard because it's going to figure out a way to transfer.
A
Understand?
lot of trial and error.
No. Yeah, but what's going on right now? Trial and error is already affecting humans. It's been affecting humans for hundreds of years. This has been happening a year. This has actually been contaminating humans for many years. You know why? People have cats as pets. Because you clean up their poop from their litter boxes, and that's what actually has...
And you don't wash your hands.
Yeah, a lot of people don't wash their hands.
Yeah, I don't understand that. That's
That's
gross.
right.
That's gross.
But that's why a lot of people
deserve to
are
die.
actually contaminated. 50% have this in their brains already. That means 2 of us here already have it in there. 2 to 3 of us.
I don't
have a
touch cat poop.
But you guys have.
Yeah,
you
we
guys live with
our
cats.
roommates have a cat. I do not mess with that. I don't mess with his poop.
Yeah.
TC does. You
I
know,
don't-
play,
I don't
you
like
play with
cats.
the poop with your cat.
I don't like cats. I'm highly allergic to cats, and
Okay.
cats are dickheads anyway. Anywho,
now-
on to the next method of infection. Though.
Now, the next method, of course, has to be mad cow disease or rabies.
You're talking
But
about
the
the
viral-
you're talking about the that's not just viral though. You're talking about the rage zombie, and that's a different
Rage
kind of
zombie.
virus than a typical virus. Those are neurological diseases. They travel through your nervous system, which is why their infection rate is very fast.
Yeah, infection rate is
How
very
fast?
fast. Well, probably depending on the situation.
Not as fast as your nerve induction, which is about 200 miles an hour, but they move very quickly through your nervous system.
No,
Yeah,
can we
but
get an instant?
I think in
No, it's not instant.
not instant. No, probably
Under
a
an hour?
day. No, probably a day.
Okay,
For right now, it is that type of contaminant. But if it evolves again, that's another story.
it
But
would
seriously-
take a lot of push.
Yeah.
Now,
It happen, but,
but
a lot of
there's
push.
a major problem.
No, these are very No, what he's saying is right. These are very dangerous infections, and they cause serious problems.
Now, multiple people will get infected by this, and then the government will shut them down, true, and keep them closed up. Very true on this matter. But I really think, unless it evolves, it's going to cause a lot of damage, but not global. But it will cause the most ferocious versions of attacks in a very short amount of time.
20,
Yeah, if
someone messes with it,
if some-
advances
So
it.
yeah, because that can happen. And
Damn you hippies, you destroyed us all.
yeah,
but-
that's true.
the truth is, I always thought I have a method. I think they'll actually plant a virus like this into people, which
Yeah.
I am actually writing a story on, actually, which maybe I'll share to the people eventually. But pretty much, but I'll talk about that in the 5th final form of the zombie.
Audiobooks by us. And if Morgan Freeman wants to, we would love you.
Whatever, just continue on with
Yeah.
what you were speaking about.
Now, the thing is though, will the government actually try to stop it right away? My thing is probably not.
Big government, local governments, such as small police
But
departments.
small
will try to
governments,
stop
small
it.
governments will try to fight it, but big governments,
Well,
they
they'll-
actually, they in
And so
fact
they-
love disasters because it
It's
gives
easier-
them a chance to like flex their muscle and get people to depend on them.
And get more control.
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
civilization.
Big governments love natural disasters. As much as people say it's a big tragedy, as much as you get fucking President Obama out there saying, "Oh, we feel for these people and it was a terrible travesty."
You sound
He's
like you sound like a Bush
I know,
right there.
I know. He's like, ha 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 ha. Yeah, all these people died. Now they're gonna depend on us even more.
Well,
Because I hate to bring it to people.
She'd be like this. Please don't make me do stuff.
Yeah, please, I'm reading Super Fudge. Please don't make me do things.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
but
Dr.
I hate to bring you, but
Michio,
that's what your
okay,
government is
folks.
doing behind
Pretty much.
closed doors.
Pretty much.
People think China's evil. All governments are evil.
Hey, at least Dr. Evil's less evil than
That's
the
true.
government.
I
That's
vote for him.
I
2016.
would
Hey,
actually
do
vote.
Dr. Evil for president.
Yeah,
I
vote
go
Dr.
that
Evil 2016.
Yeah, I'll
You're
go
giving me
down with
Michael Myers. I mean, not Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. You don't fucking vote Michael Myers in
2016.
2016. Anywho, yeah, the rage zombie, and then you have
Oh, wait, stop for a second before we go to scientific. Let's try to name off the top of our head the best rage zombie movies.
no. Where this is
Another
serious
time.
discussion.
I think that'd be another discussion.
Comment
later time.
section.
No, that would be discussion for later on for best type of zombie movies. I
Yeah,
think.
something
But
like
something
that.
else.
That's something
Not-
totally different, dude. We're trying to do a real
Okay.
scientific discussion here.
Okay, of course.
This is a serious scientific matter here.
Seriously.
Now, this number 5 has to be called the mystic zombie. I call it mystic because this is actually living dead coming to life,
Magic.
making them far more indestructible.
You're thinking of The Walking Dead.
Pretty much the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You know, we're pretty much, or let's
Ghouls,
see,
technically?
World War Z. That
Yeah,
type of
that's
zombie in the book series, not the movie, the book series. They are they're almost indestructible, exception for destroying the brain. Now these other zombies, the brain is the fastest way to stop them, but actually other wounds will actually kill them because they are still technically living. These other versions of the zombies.
Uh-huh.
Because since they are still living beings, bullet shots to the lungs and organs doesn't affect them, but they don't feel the pain and they don't go into shock, which makes them continue an attack
Yeah.
pattern. Make them think they're indestructible. But that's not true, though. They can actually still die from those wounds, but
Yeah,
it'll take a lot longer period of time. Most humans that are just normal die from such wounds because they go into shock.
Yeah.
That actually causes more deaths than actual injuries themselves.
Yeah, because humans can actually heal from any wound, practically, that is not instantly fatal.
A lot
What
of
people don't
times.
realize is that humans have an incredible healing system.
It is actually really incredible.
Yeah, it actually is far better than most animals on the planet.
No,
No, it's true.
Most bodies in general, the living body,
Yeah.
I'm talking about animals too,
But we can't
have
grow back
incredible
arms.
healings,
Yeah.
but each one has different aspects of better healing and things like that, but that's another
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, that's totally different scientific
But
discussion.
the mystic zombie were actually the dead. They die and they come back because they don't have a pulse. I don't know how the blood flows through or anything like that, or how it actually mechanically works. It's
There-
more like the contaminant
that one
actually
is
controls the form itself.
That actually one has various variations on it. Some of them is like the virus or whatever the contaminant is acts as a preservative,
Yeah.
slowing the zombies rot. However, some of them have it where it just reanimates the body and the body continues to
To rot.
decay at a somewhat normal rate. See, like it doesn't have bacterial decay, so it doesn't rot because bacteria are eating it.
Yeah.
But it will decay under a body's natural breakdown. Your body is a super
Yeah.
complex machine
That breaks
made out
down.
of various chemical reactions. All have to be regulated very precisely. And if these things are not met, the body will break down, and the zombie will not be viable within a couple of days.
Yeah.
Because every time you move or you exert yourself overly, you tear the muscle. No, not even that long. You tear muscles in your body. Your
Ligaments,
your
tendons,
body, yeah, your body also
cartilage.
builds up acid
Mhm.
every time it uses its muscles.
But
That's the feel the burn you
Yeah.
get, and that's actual
Lactic
acid.
acid.
Your
Yeah.
body neutralizes that acid with oxygen. That's
No,
that's why you need to breathe.
Not oxygen, glucose.
But that's how
But yeah.
that's how your body neutralizes it. If it's not getting glucose, it will neutralize eventually.
Yeah.
But it neutralizes by eating the muscle.
Yep. That
So
breaks down the
so
muscles.
and once that lactic acid builds up to a certain point, even though the muscle is still viable, the muscle is no longer capable of moving.
But how it actually works, we don't know. But that's just like part of the basic mystical zombies. That's why I call it
Well,
mystic.
yeah.
So I think it's the most unlikely, but it is what makes
Well-
most of the movies exist to nowadays.
Well, don't forget, Mystic Zombie can also include the old-fashioned End Days Revelations,
True.
necromancy, like magic.
Night of the Living Dead.
No, actually, as
Well,
it- as it stated-
the fully magic zombies, we can pretty much determine those aren't going to happen.
As it stated in his book, George A. Romero never fully intended to have the zombies supernatural. It was mostly caused by atomic radiation, but it was never fully disclosed.
Cosmic radiation is something that you can use to explain a lot of things because nobody knows what it is or how it works or anything. I mean, there's so many different forms of radiation out there in space that we have not even discovered yet.
Very
Though,
true.
from what we know, is the most powerful form of radiation is gamma radiation.
Yeah.
Oh, zombie!
No, well, that's supposed to be why Hulk is so strong. But anyway, won't get into that. But
Yeah.
radiation from space can cause unknown amounts of variation
I could probably
in anything on the
think
planet.
of a lot of zombie movies because cosmic radiation started it. Like probably 5 at the top of my head.
I mean, you may think that this is all fiction, you know, that zombies don't exist or anything. However, there are very strange incidents that have occurred in real life. I mean, you all heard about the bath
Here.
salts incident in Florida.
Glenny here has something he wants to say here. Let's
He's-
have
Okay.
I don't know about that. You told me this, and I also confirmed it. back in World War II, the Germans were low on soldiers, so they were experimenting on bringing back the dead. You actually find this video of the old footage that was salvaged by the Allies, in which they tried to animate the body. The best they got is
Yes, there
because
are
it's complicated to bring back a body.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very
Because like I said, it's a complex series
Yeah.
of chemical reactions that
but-
have to be regulated.
Real quick. And let me continue on from that story there.
Okay.
There was another situation, but this happened in Russia.
Okay, that was what I was gonna go
Yeah,
to
go
right
that
there.
one, yeah.
Because when the
Shoot,
Germans
just let him-
okay, it goes to history. When the Germans fell, everybody was grabbing everything from Nazi scientists to the research. Russia got what he's gonna talk about. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Russia had an island here. This island was completely military zone, and they were experimenting on. But a mysterious event happened there. Everything lost control in it, and Russia completely destroyed the island with a nuclear warhead.
They declared
They
it.
claimed it was a nuclear test, that it was set up like, if you ever hear those places called atomic acres, where America government would build a full town with running water and everything, and then drop a nuke on it just to see how the town would be destroyed by the nuke. Spoiler alert, it was vaporized, dumbasses. What'd you think was going to happen? It was going to stick?
Here's the thing, though. When the town was falling
One
apart-
house stayed.
One house.
Chuck Norris's house.
Chuck Norris's house was untouched.
Okay, here's the thing, though.
Because the nuke would not dare.
When that town was when these mentioned the town was falling apart, people who are amateur radio people, what they call again,
CB radios.
were getting strange messages saying the dead are coming back up. We cannot stop them. We are holed up in the prison. Please come get us.
Yeah, it was a military prison with a town nearby, and they nuked the whole thing.
See what they were doing? They were using prisoners for their experiments, which is obvious on that. They used their corpses as well as the living experiments.
And
Living
They
prisoners.
lost control of it, and then they destroyed it.
Yeah.
But then the
Now,
strange,
the other thing is though, they say, oh, it was a nuclear test. The thing was, they know for a fact no one was evacuated from this place.
Yeah,
If it was a nuclear
the
test,
island
there would
was
be no one
inhabited
on there.
still when
Don't
they
have to
blew
raise
it.
your hand. You're not a child.
Here's the thing, though.
He's like, oh,
When people from Greenpeace and stuff offered to give them money, they can go help them out. They denied them, even though in other instances, Russia goes, "Oh, come in, give us money." No, stay away. People snuck in and reported what's left of the wreckage of the town was so weird because they found bodies trying to claw in, but yet it was strange. Some of them were missing body parts, trying to claw in into the last place they will hold up, and survivors clutching together trying to stay alive before the bomb was dropped on them.
Yeah. So that's another proof that actually science has created. Now, let me tell you something here. If Russia's doing this, you know damn well United States is doing this. They're always trying to one-up each other. Now, going into the Florida attacks. This is going to go on into the Florida attacks.
Before we go to the Florida attacks, problem is that research that was stolen from Germany, a lot of people got it besides Russia.
Not just Russia, too.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
US,
China,
Britain,
Korea,
Yeah.
Japan. I'm not...
Well, Japan,
Oh.
Japan was in bed with the Germans. Haha. Hentai joke.
Oh my God.
But it's
Tentacle
believed that they shared research.
Technically German.
They believe that they shared research with Germany. Shared research with them.
It's very possible, but that's another... We don't know 100% on that, but we'll just go on to continue on this. The reason why I think United States actually does have the abilities for creating a zombie attacks, and they actually have released some people and see how the damage goes through.
Florida.
The Florida attacks had two situations of this happening. And they said, oh, it was bath salts. The problem is, they didn't find bath salts in their system. True, bath salts can make you do a lot of crazy shit, don't get me wrong. But bath salts were not in the body.
Yeah.
That means they lied on the situation.
That wasn't the only incident.
No,
One thing that
three
pisses me off.
situations.
Well, no, one thing that pisses me off is that they had an incident right here in Long Beach.
Okay,
But
before we go there-
dude, shut up, dude. Wait, let me finish a thought here.
Because I went back and
Because they
forth.
had an incident in Long Beach at the docks where they do all the shipping and stuff like that. A guy was actually found wandering among the shipping containers, and he attacked one of the dock workers. And the only way, they shot him several times, and he didn't stop attacking this guy till they shot him in the head. And what pisses me off is this whole thing, the whole story, just kind of got glossed over. You know, as if they were like as if they were threatened not
two
to
piggybacks,
report this.
And
shit.
then go ahead,
Okay,
TJ.
2 piggybacks. When it came to him, I originally found those stories online a long time ago, bookmarked them, and I went to the websites that had them. They were gone, or the stories were taken off. Now, for Mike's story about Florida, I did some checking. The places where these homeless people were most likely hanging out were near U.S. military bases where they're known for testing, and I think the current testing was rabies right now.
Which,
A rabies vaccine.
remember I said number 4 zombie type of virus.
So it could be, people believe online that this person was probably like, I need some food from the government. They took him in, they experimented, and released them thinking like, okay, let's see how it works.
Yeah,
and,
most people
test
don't
them.
realize that the homeless population makes a massive pool of people to be experimented on.
Black bag.
And the government, not even black bag, dude. You just pick them up and throw them in the back of a pickup truck, and nobody would give a shit.
Home Depot.
The government is like well known for fucking grabbing people. I mean, hell, they've even been confirmed to have experimented on populations of civilians here in the U.S. and nobody ever fucking got in trouble for this shit. They were conducting genetic and even medical experiments on people, unethical, illegal experiments, and nobody ever
CIA.
gets punished. Not even the CIA.
No,
dude.
they does some testing a lot.
No, I know, but not
CIA,
even.
not just CIA though. It
Yeah.
goes way beyond the CIA.
It goes like everybody. It's like
Big Brother,
the
pretty
fucking
much.
Department of Water and Power and shit, man. Everybody's done it. Nobody
Now-
gives a shit.
Many people are trying to wonder, why would governments even try to risk something so dangerous here that could wipe out a population? There's a simple answer for this. The key thing that people of government, even most general people want, power.
Power and control.
is the main thing. Think about, why do these billionaires want more and more money? The more money you have, the more power it has. Doesn't matter how much you have. They always want more power.
Yeah.
Right now, money's the big symbol, but in the future, well, we'll see what the new symbol will become. Once
Weapons.
weapons
No,
are
it's
another
all-
form of
it's-
power, but that we're not talking about right now.
Yeah.
Weapons are
But
going
if
to
you
just
but if you could
see
but
Judgment Day.
if you could control a population and turn them into a weapon, that is incredible power.
It is power, yeah. Because pretty much, if you have an army that'll listen to what you're saying, especially if it's your own, the citizens of the nation you're going against,
Yeah,
turn their own
exactly.
citizens against their own armies, you got
Yeah.
Or using
fight on
their
your
own
own land.
citizens.
And what thing is though, like a lot of these things are like spearheaded by big government guys and stuff like that. But the people who actually make it happen are idiot scientists who ask themselves whether or not I can do this. Can I do this? This is my great discovery. Like, dude, some people think like, you ever think like maybe there are some things you really shouldn't screw around with? People trying to hold the power of life and death itself in the
Read
palm of their hand
Frankenstein.
and realize that it doesn't give a shit about you and it's gonna eat your fucking hand.
Like I
That's
said,
another thing.
Frankenstein.
That goes back to the thing of wanting more power.
Yeah,
Oh.
power that you can't control.
Yeah, stop with the political bandwagon. Technically, the Frankenstein's monster would be considered a zombie, reanimated body.
Yep, true. A much stronger version of it, but
Yeah,
yes,
but
it would be
but
like
also-
a super zombie.
But
intelligent though.
A functional body, because the body still
Semi-intelligent.
functions.
Yeah, because his body
Yeah.
functioned.
Yeah.
He wasn't dead. He was a
But
functioning
remember I
body.
said, the other 4 versions of zombies are technically not dead beings.
That's true. They're not dead.
Not
Only the
100%.
mystic zombie, which I call, is a dead real dead come to
In this
life.
book, they would agree. He says
I would
pretty much
call it like
a zombie of any kind would at least be 1 to 5% barely alive. Technically,
Yeah.
But
to
still
function.
alive. You have
Yeah,
to
because
have functioning systems.
you need those biological systems just to start the infection.
Just
Exactly.
to move.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Okay, so we've been going on for a while. So tell us what you think.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? I want to do another other type of conversations, and if you have subjects for us, please let us know. We would glad to talk about this.
let's do a vote because I want to do for next week.
Let's-
We're not doing a vote or anything. We're asking them what they want to see. So this has been the very first edition of Pride's Discussions.
And also,
PD.
one of the discussions I hope we will get through to is actually how to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Well, maybe
We'll
we'll
do
do
this
that
as a part 2. We'll
We'll
do this
do
as
that
a
as
part 2.
Actually, he has a chapter in here. He has it. Wait.
Later, dude, not now.
You just reference the chapter's name.
No. Okay.
I
Okay.
have a book on that too. On
Yeah, me too.
Reporting the apocalypse, a guide to kicking zombie undead ass. There we go.
there we go.
Okay, so Let us know what you think. You guys like this? What do you guys want to see more? What do you want to see us talk about more?
Rebels?
And we got our man here. He's doing his shit. So we'll see you guys next time. Everybody say bye. You've been very quiet.
Take care now,
You were very
Pride.
quiet this whole time.
He's
and you're
actually
creepy.
doing the impression of a zombie for us.
Well, pretty much, I'm trying to act like a zombie against these motherfuckers here.
Okay, Mike's right next to you. Bite
Here.
him.
Devour him.
No,
He's
you
fatter.
devour him. No,
He's
no.
fatter. Human meat shield.
No. It was
Okay.
easy.
Anywho, we're getting really off topic here. We're getting really weird. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Take care now.